Hello, team. Welcome to another weekly sales meeting. We are very, very excited about today's lineup. I'm just going to get started by talking about earlier today. If you haven't already heard, FHA HUD announced that they're cutting the MIP by 30 basis points on FHA loans. Is a big announcement. So, we'll be sharing a little bit more information on this later as far as when it'll go into effect and when you can you'll see it on new loan originations. But that's a big announcement coming hot off the press. So want to get started and talk about interest rates are rising. So, number one, I had half dozen phone calls with loan officers here at UMortgage over the last 48 hours. And, I hear rates are rising. What are we going to do? It's like, number one, first and foremost, rates are rising for the entire industry. It's not just, LO in, Southeast Texas that's experiencing this. It's everybody. So the best part about interest rates rising is we are prepared for it. And we are also best positioned when rates rise. We're the lowest margin participant in the market. We're the lowest rates that any consumer is going to get. So we're going to be the most competitive. When rates rise, they always impact the more expensive, higher margin platforms the most. So our competitive advantage actually increases in a rate environment. Consumers are more conscious of the fact that rates are high and they got to shop around, and it's not, they're not just going to take the highest rate with charging points. They're going to want to see what's out there and what's available. So that's a big, big deal. Number two on that is making sure that we understand that we're leaning in to a topic that is extremely important to all of us in 2023. It's something Nash Paradise shared yesterday, which is 2023. The theme of the entire year is going to be affordability in the housing market. There's going to be less buyers. There's going to be less transactions. And at the end of the day, when rates are at this level, it's going to be all about affordability. So what does affordability come down to? It's going to come down to home prices. It's going to come down to monthly payment, and it's going to come down to interest rates. Like, these are the things that matter. So just like we saw today with FHA cutting, the monthly MIP, like, that's a reflection of an affordability move that helps consumers. So at the end of the day, us having the lowest conventional MI in the country among all platforms, any channel, there's no company in the country that's going to have lower monthly mortgage insurance than we're going to be able to deliver on purchase transactions. Like, that's an affordability advantage. Number two, we have the lowest rates of anybody out there. So we're going to win with the lowest rate against all of our competitors. Again, that's an affordability advantage. And making sure the number three thing is, because of the fact that we have the flexibility that we have, because of the fact that we have a lender marketplace where lenders are competing for business on a daily basis, we're going to be in a situation where we're going to be able to create affordability for our clients by making sure that we're not just taking it to the first choice. It's going to go to whoever's the sharpest price on the day for that consumer. So affordability is the game in 2023. We want to make sure we're talking about it. We want to make sure that every real estate agent and every home buyer in our markets understands that when they think of affordability, they think of UMortgage, they think of you because you're the best price, best option for the consumer in your market. So think about it, focus on it. Rates are high. It's a competitive advantage for all of us. Number two, we'll talk about the three most important daily tasks that I have as non-negotiables on a daily basis. So, I'm going to break them into to categories and give you what I do as a part of this every day. So, number one, it's outreach. Okay, so making sure that we're doing outreach, and we'll break that down a little bit more. Number two is accountability. Accountability is a really big one. And number three is recognition. So, the way I look at it as outreach is I'm either sending an email to my database, all my partners, anybody I'm recruiting, like anybody that's out there, team members, like, I don't care, like, the whole database is getting the same message. I send it to our team members, I send it to 3,000 other people. Like, at the end of the day, I'm staying top of mind. The other part of it is posting on social, and not just doing the bare minimum. Like, hey, listen, like, all of the platforms, all the algorithms for every social media platform have been optimized to rank higher quality, engaging content. In order for it to be higher quality, engaging content, you have to understand that, like, you have to be engaging. You have to be reaching out. You have to be, liking other people's posts, commenting on other people's posts, growing your network on a daily basis, making sure you're connecting with people, adding followers. Like, the game isn't just posting. It's not a set it and forget it game. It's actually, doing your daily cadence of posting, doing video, doing, the social media content that we provide you. But then it's connecting with new people. Every single time you get a new borrower, connecting with them. Every single time you get a new realtor partner, you're connecting with them on social media. Every single time you check the listing agent on social media, you're adding them across all the different platforms. Like, this is a cadence that we have to do. Outreach is the game. Growing our audience is game. Number two is, like, understanding accountability. Accountability is a big one. And I'm big on accountability and self-accountability, which is setting yourself up where you're either going to fail or succeed based upon the accountability you build in your schedule. So, to me, 3 in-person meetings is very important for every salesperson at UMortgage. Now, why is it important for a salesperson versus a non-salesperson? Is like, at the end of the day, as a LO, it's very easy to put a hat on. It's very easy to not shave. It's very easy to roll out of bed, put the bare minimum effort in, and go about your day. Like, you can avoid meetings if you want. If you schedule 3 meetings, and I make sure it's like, hey, let's be very intentional. I'm going to schedule a meeting first thing in the morning, whatever that is for you. I'm going to schedule one midday, and I'm going to schedule one late in the day. Whether it's a realtor partner, whether it's a customer, whether it's my team here at UMortgage, like, I'm going to schedule those 3 things, and I'm going to create those levels of accountability. So now I have to not put a hat on. Now I have to shave for the day if that's what you're going to do. Like, now I have to get ready for the game. Now I have to be present. Like, you can leave the camera off, but that's not the accountability you want to do. You want to be accountable. You want to make sure you're creating that accountability. So I'm really big on that. And then, like, don't just show up. Be great when you show up. Make sure you're putting on a performance for every meeting. Make sure you're facilitating, something that is actually impactful to the other person in that meeting. But create that accountability. And the last one is recognition. Recognition is key. How many times a day are you sending a recognition message to, hey, so-and-so on the daily sales meeting yesterday, they did a great job. I just want to send them a message and say, you did a great job. Or, hey, my processor knocked out of the park. Like, you don't have to just post some kudos. You could just send a nice message to somebody and say, hey, I really appreciate you doing a great job on this loan. It really means a lot to me. It makes my job easier so I can focus on going out and getting loans. Recognition is game. By the way, it's not just, people here. Your real estate agents, your past customers, like, hey, I really appreciate you choosing to do your mortgage with UMortgage. I had a former customer from 6 years ago, reach out to us to do a mortgage. I sent him a private message. Hey, I just want to let you know, I know you didn't have to go with me. We haven't even been in touch for many years. Like, I appreciate you thinking of me and caring enough to reach out to our company. It's going to make a difference for us in this hard economy. Like, recognition is the game. So those 3 things, outreach, accountability, and recognition. Those are the 3 most important things we can be doing on a daily basis. And again, it's like, it's not easy to do these things. It would be easy to not schedule those 3 meetings. It would be easy not to record a video and post on social media. But this is the most important 3 things you can do. And you can knock those things out in 90 minutes to 2 hours a day. That's the truth. 90 minutes to 2 hours a day, spread out over time. You do what you need to do in between, but that's going to set you up for success. Next thing I want to talk about is, we're currently, I shared this yesterday during our daily sales huddle where, I have all of our leaders reading Raving Fans, which is a book about service and client experience. And the whole book theme is about understanding that, like, this, customer satisfaction is not the goal. And by the way, if you focus on customer satisfaction and that's all you focus on, you're most likely not to have another customer in the future. And the reason why is customers' expectations are so low that, them being satisfied just means that you met their very low expectations. For us, it's exceeding those expectations. It's creating a raving fan. It's going above and beyond. Like we talked about recognition before. It's, sending that extra message to the, to your buyer during the process to make sure they know, you're going to get some automated emails, and that's like, that checks the box. Okay. But I'm going to reach out to you anyway. I talked about yesterday during our meetings, loan officers here, certain loan officers, hey, they'll record a loan video and go through the disclosures for the borrower, the loan estimate for the borrower, and send that and let them know, hey, listen, before you reach out to me after you review your disclosures, just watch this video because I'm going to explain everything. It's going to make this disclosure process super easy. You're going to be able to fly through them in no time fast. Understanding, like, going above and beyond is the game. Just following the process, just doing the bare minimum, just checking the boxes. That's how you create satisfied customers. That's not going to achieve what we're looking to achieve. We define success as a customer that creates a new customer. That's the goal. We want raving fans. We want people that are happy. I told everybody yesterday during the sales huddle, next week we have our relationships, not transactions, someone here in Philadelphia. Like, at the end of those 2 days, and this expectation's already been set for everybody here, is like, at the end of those 2 days, if anybody that was an attendee, any of our loan officers that flew out to Philadelphia, any of our operations team members that flew out to Philadelphia, if any of those people are like, man, that wasn't worth my time. I spent this much money on a hotel and a ticket. Like, I'm not going to do that next time. If that's where they're at, we failed. We have to create an experience where they're like, hey, I would pay double. That was so worth it. I got so much value out of those 2 days. Like, that was amazing. Like, that's the experience that we need to create in everything we do. And understand, like, don't wait for somebody else to do it. Okay. Like, this is like the big thing that I keep telling people about is, like, if you're waiting for somebody else to create that experience, if you're waiting and assuming like, hey, marketing is going to do it or the processor is going to do it, like maybe they will. But at the end of the day, it's my business. I'm the CEO of my business. Like, this customer is working with me. UMortgage is my platform, but at the end of the day, it's my customer. you got to make sure you're in the weeds of the business. You got to make sure you're doing that proactive communication. You got to make sure that you're anticipating their needs and being proactive in everything you're doing. If you want to create raving fans, customers that create new customers and refer you other customers, you got to go above and beyond. And that's a major, major call to action. So last thing here before I hand it off is daily huddles. I sent an email out this morning, just bring visibility to the whole organization on a daily huddle cadence that we've implemented for all of our corporate teams. It's going to be a part of our sales huddle. And what is this about? It's all about understanding, like, we are focused on being great. Okay. Like people think, oh, you just throw it on the board. It's 4 o'clock meeting, a half hour, like no effort goes into it. We just get on there and mess around. Like, that's not the way it goes. Like Nicole, from the daily sales huddle, Nicole Peranios spent a lot of time talking to different loan officers, having different meetings, trying to understand where the pain points, trying to understand where there's values. Like, in order for it to be on the daily sales huddle, she knows it has to be great. Like, her goal is to make sure that everybody gets off there and says, I want to come tomorrow. I want to come the next day. Like, that's the game. So we make sure we get feedback. How can we change it? Can we bring in different moderators? What are the different topics we can talk about? But the level of intentionality is very, very high. So, when you go on there, just understand, like, you're a part of this experience too. Like, share your feedback. If you have something that's a value add or a contribution you'd like to meet, connect with Nicole Peranio. Like let's talk about it. Let's see how we can add value. But at the end of the day, just understand, like, we put that level of effort into every single thing we do. And like, some people may be like, man, that's really exhausting. No, like, that's what it takes to be great. That's what it takes to be the best in the world at what you do. So if you want to be average, there's a lot of places you can be average. If you want to be great or you want to be the best in the world, that's what we're doing here. That's the program we're running here. So Get Better Every Day isn't just something we put on the wall, not something we just talk about. It's a way of life. It's a lifestyle. So I'm going to hand it off and I'll be back shortly.
Hey everyone, I'm Lyndsey. I'm from the Dallas UMortgage branch, and I'm going to teach you how I issue dynamic loan approvals using the Realtor portal in Arrive. If you're not using the Realtor portal, you're definitely missing out. It's one of my favorite features, and I'm going to teach you how to level up your Realtor relationships with just this one trick. You'll probably get new Realtor relationships from it because it's so awesome. Let's talk about the old way of issuing pre-approvals. And generally, a loan officer would qualify a borrower, call their Realtor partner, issue a PDF that says, hey, borrower Bob is qualified for $400,000 purchase price and 10% down payment. Here's your PDF. Call me if you need me to update anything. And that's it. But that's the old way of doing things. And we're innovators here at UMortgage. And if you know anything about me, you know I like to do things differently. I like to find better, faster, more innovative, newer, technology focused, all of these things to make us more competitive, to make us better partners for our realtors, and to better serve our clients ultimately. So what is a dynamic loan approval? You've probably never heard that before because I really made that up, but you can go ahead and use that term. So a dynamic loan approval is where we go into our loan system, Arrive, and we set parameters. Borrower Bob can qualify for up to $400,000 or up to $450,000, but he only has X amount to bring for cash to close. So we set that number. We set the debt to income ratio. We say borrower Bob can't go above 48% DTI. Or maybe if we ran AUS multiple times, we know he could go up to 50% DTI. So we set that variable. Then we put in borrower Bob can't go above X in monthly payment. That has to include mortgage insurance, if they have that. It has to include homeowners association dues, homeowners insurance, and taxes for the property. So what are the variables that the realtors know? They know the selling price or the purchase price. We tell them what they can bring cash for down payment. They know what the taxes are, and they know what the homeowners association dues are. When I set these parameters and then invite my realtor partners to log into their real estate portal, they see the pre-approval letter with these boxes and the parameters that I've set. So now borrower Bob calls their realtor and says, oh, I found this house on Zillow. I really want to go see it, but it's $430,000. Well, that was maybe above the $400,000 budget. So instead of saying no, the realtor logs into the portal and plugs in $430,000. Oh, and guess what? The taxes on this property, super low. Plugs in the taxes, and even better, no HOA. Plugs in the HOA dues and hits generate, and the system will tell the realtor if borrower Bob qualifies for that property or not based on the parameters that we have set. If they do qualify, Arrive allows the realtor to generate an instant pre-approval specific with that property address if they want to add it for that property to include with their offer letter. If the borrower isn't approved because any of the parameters, if any of them are not met, maybe it is within borrower Bob's budget from the purchase price, but he doesn't have enough for the 10% down payment, it will not approve. It will kick out a red, not approved, not eligible, and it will tell the realtor why. Doesn't have enough funds on down payment. Or maybe the taxes are really high on that property. Maybe it's a $420,000 that they qualified on a different property but had lower taxes. Well, if this one has higher taxes, payment's too high, DTI is too high, can't approve them. These are instant ways for your realtor partners to see without having to know any math, without having to try and figure out whether or not the taxes are too high or too low, or the purchase price or the rates or anything. This is all dynamic. It's all within our Arrive system. And that's why it's called dynamic loan approvals. So they can generate these PDFs. Once you teach your realtor partners how to do this, it's so simple. I created a really short video that we'll post in the knowledge library on how to set up these parameters. It takes less than 60 seconds to do. You teach your realtor partners how to log in on their side, enter this, and there you go. Dynamic loan approvals for all of your clients.
What's going on, UMortgage? It's Ben in Atlanta. Hope you're doing great. Today, I want to talk to you about something that is near and dear to my heart that I've been doing for several years, and I really think it has played a big part in my business, and it comes down to daily tracking. So I know in the previous sales meetings, we talked about daily activities, but now we're moving a step forward and we're going to talk about tracking. I know Kristen Morgan and I talked about this a couple weeks ago, and she tracks all of her phone calls, which is amazing. I also do the same thing, but I don't just track phone calls. I track everything that what I consider a money-making activity. Okay. I call them points of contact. It's phone calls, text messages, comments on social media, direct messages on social media, even some emails to past clients to check in if you don't get them on the phone. That's a contact in my book. Okay. I take it, and also part of my daily tracking is I also like to track my credit pulls. So every Sunday, I come up with a goal to how many pre-approvals do I want to have this week? Okay. How many credit pulls do I want to have this week? How many contracts do I want to get this week? How many closings do I have scheduled this week? Okay. So once you really start nailing down and tracking all of this, you start coming up with these conversion percentages. And those conversion percentages to me are super important because I know if my conversion percentages are down, it all funnels back to my points of contact. How many people did I talk to today? So on Thursdays, I evaluate the week. Okay. Thursdays are super important because if I'm down on Thursdays, I know that I need to step it up Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. This isn't a Monday through Friday job. We know that. So yeah, I do reach out to people on Saturday and Sunday. I'm not scared of that. I think it's very important. Okay. So know your numbers. When Ellos asked me like, okay, Ben, why do you do that? Well, it's almost like somebody's trying to lose weight, right? What do they do? The most successful people, they track their calories, right? A lot of those MyFitness apps and all that fun stuff, right? They're tracking what they eat because to lose weight, you have to ultimately have a calorie deficit, okay? Same thing in business. You have to know your numbers. So I challenge everybody, March 1st, it's right around the corner, set up a Google Sheets. I can send you what I use. Hit me up, okay? It's super important that you track your numbers. Track it for a week just to see where you're at, okay? And it will open up your eyes to say, oh, you know what? I need to make more points of contact. So I hope this helps you. And as always, I'm here to help and make it a great day.
Hey guys, I'm Bailey Sells here in the Colorado branch working with Nathan at Quick Start Mortgage Group. So today I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the Open House Survival Kits. So I originally got the idea from Christy Gibb, and I based what goes into them a little bit loosely off her, but I have two great additions. So obviously the basics, you want some sort of marketing. I put one of the flyers that's in our SharePoint. I also put a water, a pen, and a granola bar basics. But the other two additions that I thought were really important, and actually they were the most expensive thing, but I loved them and the agents loved them, is these Kilwins chocolates. They are great for closing gift ideas for your realtors. They can set budgets at their local Kilwins. I'm not sure if Kilwins is nationwide, but I do know that there's a local shop here that I use to get little boxes with 2 chocolates in them and their phone number on them so that the agents can call and set up a closing gift. The second thing that I put in was Bailey's shots. So do with that what you will with your own information. It's great. But how do they work? They work great. I was hoping to be able to have another talking piece when I go into open houses, and it actually worked really well. I think that the open houses that I hit that were in my normal area worked really great because the agent was scanning my link tree right in front of me, asking me questions about some of the links that I have in there. So the opt-out pre-screen, it was amazing. The feedback that I received was just pure excitement with the agents that already knew me. I had people messaging me asking, oh my gosh, when are you going to bring one by, and sending me their addresses so that they can have me stop by. And the newer agents that I was meeting, they loved it as well. Of course, they were scanning it in front of me, asking me questions about the broker channel versus retail in front of their retail lenders. And I had one experience where the retail lender said, oh, well, they're cheaper. So it was fun. It was a fun time. You can check my Saturday live to see the lender party that was happening. It was great. So the reason why you guys should be doing this is to stay active and stay important, top of mind, your face everywhere in the town. This is really important because I actually met an agent who turned me down from accepting this survival kit. He said he's worked with these agents for forever, but I should keep doing this. And it was a really interesting thought process. I thought about it a lot. He said that his brokers, his LOs, are lazy and they don't maintain the relationship anymore. So if you want to maintain your relationships, not only maintain, but build, this is a great way to get out there and to meet new agents and maintain your old agent connections and do something fun with it and keep yourself unique. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm tagged somewhere in here.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Blackie, coming from the West Coast from your Utah branch. And today I get to share with you the birth of RE Sisterhood. And this has been something that's been so dear to my heart, and seeing this thing grow within just a short period has been amazing. So RE Sisterhood stands for Real Estate Sisterhood. It started off with 5 girls who were all in real estate, but for some reason we weren't doing real estate together. And we tried to get all the girls together to do like bunko or girls night out on the weekend, and it was really tough because we had family activities, we had sports activities, we had other agenda things with our significant others that was just hard to stay committed to a weekend get together. So instead we moved it to a Tuesday during work hours, so we meet every other Tuesday at a pub downtown. And what's really awesome, we started off with 5 members, and now we're getting, up to 71 attendees coming every other week who are wanting to, learn and support each other. And so, this RE Sisterhood is open to flippers, stagers, real estate agents, loan officers, attorneys, appraisers, you name it. Anybody in real estate's more than welcome to come. And basically on our agenda of what we do at RE Sisterhood is we start off with a public speaker who goes on for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then we have a Q&A so all the girls can get better every day. And then we have 2 group activities. So the first group activity that we do is called Introduce Your Sister. Now this basically allows the women to network with each other, get to know somebody that they don't know, and then they have to introduce that sister to everybody in the room. And then our second group challenge, it's a little bit different every week. Some of the ones our group challenges that we did in the past was who in the room has the oldest listing. Okay, if everybody grabs out their phone today and shares that person's listing, we're going to help potentially get more views and hopefully a buyer for their home. And so the other group activity that we've done is helping a contingent buyer that can't purchase their next house until they sell their existing house so that they can have an awesome, smooth transition. And then we also support our girls in the time of need. If they're going through a rough spot in life, us as a sisterhood, we come together and help support them any way that we can. And so it's really awesome. We get, quite a bit of, returned sisters that come and want to collaborate. And it's really awesome to see the focus of the group of women really wanting to help other women support them in real estate. And it's amazing. You have to experience it to really, feel the sisterhood vibe. So if you are interested in starting your own RE sisterhood, or maybe a similar networking group, or just a networking group in general, I would love to give you my tips and tricks of how you can excel on this platform, and I'm here to support you. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Milko Castellanos here. UMortgage. We work under Clockwork Lending, powered by UMortgage. I'm excited to share some of the things that we do here a little differently. That's going to help you be more productive throughout your day, help your loan officers be productive, and help you actually have purpose to your calendar other than it just marking down what's going on in your business life. So what we're looking at here is a color coding system that I've basically developed and kind of adapted here to what we have here at UMortgage, which are with our 100 points master your day system. Our system here is trying to set you up to do a bunch of different activities to get 100 points, which shows you if you're actually doing income producing activities. I've aligned that with my calendar. For years, I've had my calendar set up in a way where I color code things. So for example, things that I enjoy doing myself, like going out for walks or going to the gym, those things are in blue. I like to put things in there like that in the morning because this is how I like to start my day off. I like starting the day off with things that I enjoy doing. Then I go into yellow. Anything that's marketing, anything that's emails, anything that's sending out text to people, things of that nature, filming video reels, posting things on Instagram, on LinkedIn, whatever it may be. All of those things in yellow, those are the marketing activities. All of those things go in the morning as well. It's very important to do that in the morning because most realtors aren't even up till 10 a.m. So that's time where you can get a jump on the day, get a bunch of activities done. You'll knock out your 100 points in a minute and get your day started with now the next color. The next color between the start, which is the blue for things that I enjoy doing, the yellow for the marketing things. The next thing is purple. Purple is things like work. Sometimes you have to work on a file, or sometimes you have a sales meeting, a sales huddle meeting here at UMortgage that you want to be on that call. So that would be in purple on my calendar, things that I know I have to do, and I'd set that on my calendar for things that have to be done. The next thing is the most important color, which is green. The green sections on my calendar are my appointments, my phone calls, and my dinner appointments. So anybody, and my Zoom calls. So anybody that I'm talking to, that I'm trying to get in front of, a person I'm trying to build a relationship with, the whole goal is to get them on my calendar in green. I want to talk to them on the phone and get them on the phone to get them to an appointment. All of these activities are green, and these are things that I know I'm actually talking to a potential customer or future relationship that I can work with. And that is the key to having a calendar, is to get more green on the calendar and work the yellow in the morning to try to get all that marketing and all those things done. So you're done by 11 o'clock with your marketing, and now you're just calling and trying to set appointments and lunches and dinners with realtors to try to get in front of them and present your value and try to close the deal in the relationship with them. So what this gives you is accountability. You can look back on your calendar, you take a peek, and you see what's yellow, what's green, what's purple, what's blue, and you need to see that you need to have a majority of green. If you don't have a majority of green, you're spending too much time online doing things that are not income producing activities. I hope this helps. Let me know if you need anything. Please reach out to me. My call to action is to start your calendar now. I'm happy to help you in any way as far as setting it up, but more importantly, just to give you a couple of general tips on what would be helpful and what would work and what wouldn't work. Again, a couple things like leaving a block in the middle for lunch and a block in the afternoon for a late dinner are things that you want to have available, because those are appointments that can hop in at any point. You want to have access to your customers. Okay. Reach out again if you need anything.
Thank you, Milko, Lyndsey, Bailey, Vicky, everybody today. Ben Bell, great job, great content. If you watch this weekly sales meeting, you got better. I mean, like you're hearing from some of the best at what they do, super tactical, super in the weeds, but all the tricks, everything you need to know to get better, everything you need to know to be better with your time management, better with your client experience, better with your outputs and your daily activities. Like you heard it today, community growth. You heard from Vicky, like all of this stuff adds value. All of this stuff is what it takes to be successful, not just in this market, but in every market. So 2 things here before we wrap up. Number 1, accountability. Accountability partners are key. Like this is one of the things that like every time somebody gives me a piece of feedback, like, hey, listen, I noticed during this meeting, you were, multitasking, or I could hear the notifications on, your web browser go off. And what I respond is like, you know what, you're right. I got to make sure I'm paying full attention here. Do me a favor. Like, can you be my accountability partner? And I'll make sure I do the same for you. Like create accountability partners. Like, hey, I need to do social media, but I'm not doing it on a daily basis. Great. Like I'm going to engage with somebody that's a peer that I respect, that I care about, and have that accountability partner. You heard from Ben Bell say, hey, reach out to me. You need the daily activity tracker? Here it is. Like I can assure you, Ben wants to see you get better. Ben wants to see you be great. And if you observe Ben, if you follow Ben on social media, you're going to see he does all the things. Like when Ben's off, I know Ben's off. Like if he was sick a couple weeks ago, I knew within like maybe 6 hours, I was like, hey, I haven't seen Ben post on social media today. Let me message him. And even then he was like, hey, I'm going to post in the next hour. Like he was down and out. Like create that level of accountability. We talked about those 3 important things: accountability, recognition, outreach. Like create the accountability partner so you're doing the things you need to do to be successful. And by the way, when you do these things, it might feel like it's painful today, but it never feels painful when you leave for the day. That's what I can tell you. When you're doing it, it's like, oh, I don't want to do it. When you leave for the day, you feel accomplished. And after you've done it for so many days in a row, it becomes a habit. You feel guilty not doing it. So that's really where you want to be. That's where we have to be. Last thing here I want to talk about is next week, Relationships, Not Transactions Summit, February 28th and March 1st here in Philadelphia. 2 things here is number 1, I've been working with Corey and Sam, getting the final touches on the agenda. It's going to be a great agenda. We've got a great couple days of content. Renee Rodriguez has a knockout second day, total, team building presentation that I truly believe is going to be a game changer for everybody. But it's going to be a great couple days, and that's on top of the fact that it's going to be a great opportunity to come together as members of this team, come together with our best LOs in the country that are going to be just like today, sharing the things that are helping them win, creating those relationships that matter. But more than anything, it's an investment. It's like when you get on the plane, when you make that trip, when you come here, you're invested. You've spent some money, you got some skin in the game. And at the end of the day, the outcome is now like you feel like, hey, I got to get something out of this. If I'm going to put 2 days, hotel, flight, all this thing, be away from my family, be away from my business, like I got to get something. I can assure you that the accountability that's on this side is we're going to make sure you get something. We're going to make sure it's a transformational experience, that you're getting the value that you need to go back to your business, to go back to your family, to go back to your life and dominate and take it to another level. So hopefully you're able to attend. If not, there will be another one, of course. So that's it for the weekly sales meeting. I appreciate everybody's contributions today and for your attendance. Have a great rest of the day and talk to you soon.